Picture this. You're watching the US Open, enjoying what should be a wholesome moment between a tennis player and a young fan, when suddenly a grown man, a millionaire CEO no less, literally snatches a hat right out of a child's hands on live television. Sound unbelievable? Well, buckle up because this story gets even more bizarre. And now the internet has forced this CEO to break his silence with an explanation that's raising even more questions. The whole mess started during what was supposed to be a beautiful moment at the US Open. Tennis player Camille Machak had just finished her match and was doing something players do all the time, walking over to the stands to give back to her fans. She spotted a young boy named Brock sitting near the court and decided to make his day by tossing him her cap. It's the kind of heartwarming gesture that usually makes for perfect social media content and gives kids memories they'll treasure forever. But here's where things took a turn that nobody saw coming. As Machak lifted her cap toward little Brock, seemingly out of nowhere, this man suddenly leaned in and grabbed the hat before it could reach the kid's hands. We're talking about Piotr Sherek, a Polish CEO who apparently thought this moment was all about him. The child immediately protested. You can literally see him trying to speak up, but it was too late. The damage was done, and every single second of it was captured on camera. Now here's the thing about live television in the digital age. Nothing disappears. Within minutes, this footage was everywhere. The cameras had caught the boy's disappointed face, the crowd's shocked reaction, and most importantly, the entire sequence of this grown man basically stealing from a child. Social media absolutely exploded. People were replaying the clip, zooming in, slowing it down, and the captions were ruthless, greedy, shameless, wow, absolutely bizarre. By the next morning, this wasn't just a tennis story anymore. It was a full-blown internet phenomenon. And you know how the internet works. They don't just watch and move on. Within hours, online sleuths had identified exactly who this man was. They found his name, his company, his background, everything. Piotr Sherek went from being an anonymous face in the crowd to having his entire business life scrutinized by millions of angry people. His company's Google results were completely hijacked by this incident. Talk about going viral for all the wrong reasons. Meanwhile, tennis player Machak wasn't about to let this slide. She took to social media to track down the boy, and thankfully, she found Brock and his family. She arranged to meet with them properly, gave him autographs, memorabilia, and made sure he got the fan experience he deserved in the first place. The kid was happy, justice seemed served, but the CEO? His nightmare was just getting started. The public pressure became absolutely overwhelming. People demanded an explanation directly from Sherek himself, not through lawyers or PR teams. They wanted to hear from the man who thought it was appropriate to snatch something from a child's hands. Finally, he cracked. The CEO posted an official statement on his company website, and let me tell you, the explanation was something else entirely. According to Sherek, he genuinely believed the hat was meant for him. He claimed that his sons had been asking players for autographs throughout the event, and when he saw Machak approaching with the cap, he assumed she was responding to those requests. He described the situation as chaotic, with crowd noise making it impossible to understand what was happening clearly. Then came the formal apologies, to the boy, to the family, to fans, and to the tennis player herself. But here's where things get weird. In his statement, Sherek described the boy as injured by the incident. Now this raised some serious eyebrows because people started wondering, injured how? Was this a translation issue from Polish to English? Did he mean emotionally hurt? Or was he claiming the child was physically injured? The wording was so strange that it actually made people more suspicious rather than less. The CEO didn't stop there. He also claimed that fake content about the incident was circulating online, insisting that fabricated statements supposedly from the boy's family and lawyers were completely false. He denied that anyone was threatening lawsuits and even disabled comments on his social media accounts, saying it was to protect against harassment. But honestly, these defensive moves just made the public even more suspicious. Here's the biggest problem with his entire explanation. The video doesn't lie. You can watch the footage yourself, and what you see doesn't look like a polite misunderstanding. It looks like deliberate snatching. You can literally hear the child protesting, saying, "No, what are you doing? This wasn't some chaotic crowd situation where signals got mixed. This was a clear, direct interaction that went completely wrong. The internet wasn't buying it, and rumors started flying. People claimed he had made additional statements, including an allegedly brutal comment to the child. If you were faster, you would have it. There were whispers about legal threats and even more damaging quotes. Sherrick denied all of these claims, insisting they were completely fabricated, and some media outlets did acknowledge that they couldn't verify these additional quotes. But by then, it was too late. The damage was done, and in meme culture, fact-checking always comes second to viral content. The business consequences were immediate and devastating. Years of community work and positive reputation were completely overshadowed by this single viral moment. His company's online presence became permanently associated with the guy who stole from a kid at the US Open. It's honestly incredible how one moment of poor judgment can completely redefine someone's entire public image. And you want to know the really crazy part? Machak ended up retiring from the tournament due to injury shortly after. But this video? It's still out there, still being shared, still being discussed. The CEO got his moment of fame, just not the kind anyone would ever want. This whole situation perfectly captures the digital age we're living in. What started as a simple fan moment turned into a global spectacle affecting multiple people's lives. It raises the question, if there were no cameras rolling, would we have ever gotten that apology at all? So what do you think? Was this really just a misunderstanding? Or did we see someone's true character revealed in that split second? Let me know in the comments below. Retry.